Hello friends, today we're going to practice our cutting skills. I'm going to be using a scissor and we're going to be cutting construction paper. We're going to draw lines to help us to create a design. Something like this. Alright, to hold your scissors, think of it as a handshake. Your thumb is on top whenever you shake someone's hand. So when you're putting your scissors on your fingers, you put your thumb in the top and your other fingers on the bottom so that you can open and close and use these muscles here. If your muscles are not strong, this is something you should be practicing. So what we're going to do is we're going to be cutting our strips of paper into little piles. You're going to need 4 different colors. So if we're doing this at home, look for 4 different pieces of scrap paper. You can take construction paper and you can cut off a strip. Maybe have someone help you cut. So we're going to take one piece and we're going to make a pile of this color. This is red. So we're going to take our scissor, thumb on top, fingers in the bottom. We're going to open and close, and we never turn the scissors. We turn the paper if we have to make a curve. But in this case, for this project, we are just making straight cut lines. So we're going to go straight across. I'm going to make a pile. Okay, so that's 1. You can count if you like. 2, 3, and just keep going until you make a pile of red. You'll start with this length, and then later in the project we can cut it in the smaller spaces. And let me show you what I mean by that. When you're doing your design, sometimes we need to cut the pieces smaller to fill in the empty space. Empty space in art we call negative space. So you make your pile of red so that we can fill the space and get rid of the negative space. So open, close, thumb on top, and you got this. Good job. So let me show you how to set up this project. We're going to actually make 4 different lines. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're very wide, but there's different kinds of lines to help guide us. This one has a wavy line, a straight line, and a zigzag line. So we're going to draw 3 of those lines. We only need to draw 3 to make it work. So if I started with a wiggly line, that's 1. We can do a straight line. We can also do a zigzag line. Those are 3 different types of lines. This one has curves, and these are straight. When you're doing your line design, you can use a piece of chalk or you can use a white crayon. They both work well. Here I have my pile of red pieces of construction paper, and I filled in the space of the first wavy line. I chose to organize them in a random way, not in a line, not in a pattern. For my yellow line, I chose to organize them in a pattern so they look like lines, one line next to another line. Do you notice that on the wavy side of this line, I cut pieces of paper into tiny pieces to fill the space? Now my green pile is ready to go. You can use a glue stick, but I prefer Elmer's glue. Look how I drew the glue into lines to fill in that whole space. After you filled in the space, sometimes there's a smaller space, so cut to fit. Don't cut your fingers. One at a time, and have them fit in the empty space, the negative space. On this paper, it's the black space. Alright, that section is done. And remember, when you're cutting the paper, hold it close to your belly, and you're going to cut away from yourself, and your thumb points up like you are shaking someone's hand. So the thumb goes on top, fingers underneath, and then you can go snip, snip, right across. And make your pile. Once you make the pile, then you can take that and you can add it to your design. So now that we have this last section to do, you're going to use your glue and you're actually going to draw a very long zigzag line all the way down in this empty space. Okay, oops. And of course protect your table. Then you take your last color and you can organize them however you like, and if you choose to do it in a line, because the lesson is about a line, we're going to fill it in as a line. Okay, so these lines have become shapes. When you close a line becomes a shape. Allow your project to dry and then bring it in on your next art day and put it in the bin in your classroom. Do not give it to your teacher. Put it in the bin that says art. Don't forget to write your name on the back and add your teacher's name too. Don't forget, thumbs up when you're cutting. Cut away from yourself, not towards yourself. And remember, have fun.